All right, welcome all of you. Thanks for joining me again today. I wanted to jump in real quickly and answer a question that I got that I think is really relevant to most people listening. The question is this, came from Jamba. He's a listener of Unbreakable Success podcast, and he says, how can I get the confidence to share my expertise on videos, podcasts, live streams, or even live stages? I know I need to, but I'm terrified of embarrassing myself. Jamba, I've so been there. I've been there, and I guarantee you that I'm sure all of you listening right now have either been there or there now, or know someone who has felt like this. Look, let's face it. None of us want to embarrass ourselves. We want to look good. We want people to respect us and the work we do. And when we put ourselves out there on these platforms, it can be daunting, especially if we haven't done it before, we haven't done it much. I'm going to give you my best advice because I'll be honest, even though I've been teaching in front of people teaching since the 1990s, I've had this show for the past couple of years, and there are still days that I feel nerves. It's very common, but if there was one thing I did, and I'm going to share two answers to help all of us overcome this issue. But there's one thing I did, if I had to narrow it down to just a single action that I took that helped me overcome that issue of worrying about embarrassing myself, it was this. I just did it. I mean, the number one answer is to do it. If you want to get on podcasts and that terrifies you, get on podcasts, get on as many as you can. If you want to do videos for your website, for your coaching service, whatever it is that you want to put out there, the only way you're going to get over that fear, you're not going to think your way out of it. You have to do it, and do it a lot. I promise you. I remember the first time. This is how bad it was. The first time I recorded a podcast episode, it was a solo episode. I wasn't doing interviews. I didn't do an interview for my first show, and I wasn't recording it live. It wasn't going out live to people. I was just doing a recording, and I was going to have to upload it to the server and put it out on the show. But I was so nervous to even hit the record button, even though nobody was going to hear it except me and the dogs because they were hanging around at the time. But guess what? I did it. I uploaded it, and some people heard it. And guess what? Nothing bad happened. And that's what's going to happen. And that's why it's so important to do these things, because the more you do them, the more you're going to realize nothing bad is actually going to happen. I mean, you're going to go on shows, you're going to go on live streams, you're going to get on some stages, do some podcasts, put some video on your website, and nothing bad will happen. And guess what? On the flip side, something good will probably happen. Because the fact is, you'll start connecting with people because you obviously have expertise. Because if you didn't have any good expertise, if you didn't have something of value to offer, you wouldn't feel so compelled to get on these stages and get exposure in the first place. You want this exposure. You want to reach people and do these things because you have something to share that you know can help people. And that's the most important thing. So do it, Jamba. Get on stages, do some live streams, do some video, slap it on your website, do some podcasts, reach out to some hosts. Trust me, I'm sure you're a good person with a lot of good stuff to share. There are a ton of shows out there that I'm sure would be happy to have you on. Get on as many as you can, and you will be all right. I promise you. The second thing, which is probably equally as important as the do it part of it, is you got to change your story to a service-focused story. And what I mean by that is all of us, when we have this hesitation, this doubt, this, oh, I should, but the story is always focused on us. For example, if I'm saying, I don't want to speak in front of a crowd of 1,000 people because it scares me and there's so many people there, I may get nervous and embarrass myself. That's not a service-focused story. That is an ego-based story. That's me talking about how I'm feeling about getting on the stage and giving something to the audience. You got to flip that story around because, like I said, you've got something good to share. And if you flip that story in your head about poor me and I'm not ready to do this or this is too scary, flip that lens around into a story that's based on service. Like, what do I have? What do I have to offer this audience? What can I say to them? What can I give to them that can compel them to become something more, do something good for themselves, look at life a different way? Whatever your niche is that you're teaching to people, what is the service that you're going to be giving them, and how are you helping? Because as entrepreneurs, and definitely if you're a listener of Unbreakable Success, you know that the real deal is we're all about service. It's all about giving something of value to people. Marie Forleo, I love how she puts it. If you're a listener of Marie Forleo or a fan of Marie TV, which I certainly am, a couple of years ago I remember she did an episode called I forget the name of the episode, but it was about the technique she talked about was called the flashlight method, which is similar to what I'm saying here about changing your story, that story in your head, to a service-focused story. What Maria was saying is when you have those self-doubts and when you have that worry about being good enough in your business, or in this case, on stages or speaking to audiences of any size in multiple modalities, if you think of it as having a flashlight in your hand when you're having these moments of doubt, you can do one of two things. You can either shine that flashlight on yourself and worry about how scared you are and how nervous you are and whether you're ready, whether you're going to be good enough or not, or you can turn that flashlight around and shine it on the people that you're looking to serve in the first place and the people that you're looking to help in the first place, whether you're a fitness coach, a nutritionist, a life coach, relationship coach, whatever your thing is. You know what your jam is. You know what you're good at. You got to turn that flashlight on them. You got to turn the focus on them. And as I'm saying, you got to turn that story around so you're considering them and what you have to offer them. I promise you, if you do those two things, number one, just get out there and do it. And number two, as you're preparing to do these things, flip that story around. Stop worrying about you. You got people to serve. You got people to help. I do. Trust me, when I do these recordings, I still get nervous. I still get the edge. But you know what? It amps me up because I know I got something I'm going to give to somebody. And even just one person hears what I have to say and it helps them in their business or in their life, then guess what? It's all worth it. And that's the whole point, is to make an impact. Because, look, here's the thing. If we don't get out there and put our voice out there, if we don't get out there and put our service and the value we have to add out there, then we're not going to connect with anybody. And if we're not connecting with anybody, guess what? How are you going to make an impact if you're not connecting with an audience? And if you're not making an impact, then how's your business going to make an income? Each of these things helps each other. Make the connection, make the impact, and your business will start generating more income, I promise you. I hope that helps these two things. These two things helps as far as this scenario goes. If you're nervous about these things, about putting yourself out there, just do it. And remember to keep your story that's running through your head service focused. Do something to help someone else other than yourself. If you want something else, another tool, I'd like to give you something to help you with your sense of confidence. There's 4 things that I've done throughout, the past 10, 15 years or so that have helped me perform better in my business and life, and definitely have helped me grow my confidence. If you go to aaronkeithhawkins.com/success, it's a quick download. It's like 3 minutes to read it. But it's the 4 laws of pure success that I use in my life and have been using for a very long time. They keep me focused. They keep me on task. And I'm sure they'll do the same for you. I hope they help. And by the way, I got a live event coming up. So if you'd like to join me live and you'd like to talk and really have a very full and compelling and action and value-filled day of networking, learning how to grow your confidence, your relationship skills, your influence skills, and to build better connections with your target audience and your clients and the people you're looking to serve, hop over to aaronkeithhawkins.com/live and join me at the live event. It's coming to New Jersey very soon, and I'll hope to see you there. But most of all, thank you again for joining me today. As always, please take care of yourself, take care of each other, keep on creating the best life of your life. I'm Aaron Keith Hawkins, and I will talk to you very soon. Love you guys. Take care.